Estamos al aire en la emisora de los latinos, Urbana TV FM, con la programación más dinámica.
Está súper especial con el señor Jefferson, que está con nosotros, y de Yandira, Feliz, quien nos van a hablar de los proyectos, de todo lo que ha pasado acá en Toronto acerca del deporte. Me toca aprender un poquito de inglés hoy día. Mr. Jefferson, welcome to Panorama Hispano. I'm so glad and so happy you'll be here. Thank you very much for accepting.
Very pleased with you.
Gracias, mi querida Yandira, Feliz, bienvenida al programa nuevamente. Y gracias por servirnos también a la vez de intérprete, porque hay algunas cosas que ustedes saben que yo no sé hablar inglés. Así que realmente vamos a hablar de este caballero que tiene bastante historia. Y lo que primero que vamos a comenzar es preguntarle cuándo llega a Canadá y cuál ha sido los aportes que han venido trayendo para la comunidad caribeña y latina.
I pretty much can say what you just said. That's history that we have in Canada as a community leader, of course. Jorge, Jesús is getting to know you. I would like to know sort of when you got to Canada, and I guess he's saying the work that you've done here. So I would say some of the work and some highlights, because it is an extensive history, as I personally know.
Right.
If you could share, a couple of little things with him, coming here and some of the.
Yes, well, the motivation for coming here, I used to be I was in a track scholarship in the United States, America, and a place called South Carolina, a place called Orangeburg.
Okay.
And I got very much involved with the civil rights movement there. Some of the students were killed in us when we were trying to integrate and have fairness in that black people were not allowed at that time to go just with a bowling alley. I was at university, as I said, on an international track scholarship. I used to run track. And we protested the racism there. And, it's a long story. However, they called the police on us. Then they brought out the National Guard, and we were out there protesting every night. And one of the nights of protest, a very good friend and two others, this high school student and another person who was in a football scholarship, were shot and killed by the police. And so I was motivated. I got very much involved, and I ran 40 miles. Protest to the state capital in Columbia. It's all written in the Toronto newspapers and so forth. And then my mother and father said, "You got to get out of there." And I reluctantly, but at the end of the school year, I came back to Trinidad. We are originally from Trinidad and Tobago, and because all of my brother and my sister they were here at university and graduated, etc. She felt that safer for me to come to Toronto. So I came to Toronto and I got very much involved with, again, change in the community.
Alright. So, but now, this story is like a very experiences for you, and so much you're thinking about back. Now what are you thinking for this situation? What are you experience
right now?
Como en el presente.
Yeah.
Ahora, como, like I guess in the present, this is a great history that you been through, from what he can understand, I guess, in that brief synopsis that you gave him. Sort of, how do you feel, I guess, in the future? I guess what he's asking, the work that you're doing within the Caribbean and the Latin community, like how you've done with us.
Yes. Well, one of my primary or main objectives is interculturalism, bringing people together, right? And I worked in the city of Toronto managing diversity for a number of years, among other things, and I worked with several mayors of the city of Toronto, and so I developed a program to bring have staff outreach to the diverse communities in Toronto, including the Spanish-speaking community. And that's why I met Yandira's dad, Kambumbo. Yeah, I know a little bit about that history too. So anyway, and baseball was of course, is an essential part of the DR. And I got involved. I don't want to go too much.
But it would be great to, talk about sort of that experience you had with Willie Upshaw and how you sort of introduced baseball into the schools that they're chatting a little bit about with Jesús.
Sure. Well, what happened is that one of my main objectives was to introduce diverse communities to participate in sports that did not participate in, like hockey. I did a lot of stuff with hockey, aquatic swimming, and all of that. Skiing, kids. So I got young people of diverse background, particularly the black community, to experience skiing and skating and so forth, right? And with baseball, at that time, which was around the early 70s, Willie Upshaw, the Blue Jays had just more or less started. And Willie Upshaw, who at that time was, of course, a star, he made a statement in the newspaper saying that he had not seen a lot of black kids as well as kids of color participating in baseball, which is true, right?
Vamos a traducir un poquito en español. Él ha trabajado con varios equipos y también sobre todo con la comunidad negra más que todo. Ha luchado por la comunidad negra, ha trabajado con equipos tanto de béisbol como de hockey, como de natación y cricket, entre otras cosas. Entonces, la misión de él ha sido más que todo llevar a la comunidad tanto caribeña como latina, desde los primeros años que llegó acá, que tiene más de 40 años, él estuvo antes hablando de que vivía también en Estados Unidos y Carolina.
Sí, con una beca de deporte allá.
Con una beca de deporte y todo eso. Es decir, que él llegó preparado aquí, a Canadá. En esa preparación, bueno, también se junta con los dominicanos, que adivinen a quién conoce, al padre de nuestra querida Yandira, quien hacen una gran amistad, y hoy por hoy, después de 40 años, pues estamos celebrando lo del parque en Caledonia, que hoy día se llama Santo Domingo. Qué bueno tener este señor con tanta historia. I'm so very happy because he has a long story, so you're fighting for black people, well, like us, sí, es un honor tenerlo y que pelea por nuestra gente y lucha, un luchador. So que vamos a preguntarle cómo se ha sentido en estos últimos tiempos, porque él también estuvo hablando que están trabajando con comunidades, community centers y esto, de llevar más niños y niñas hacia el deporte.
He's saying sort of the work that he's been doing, I guess more recently, he does understand that we work with different communities, and more recently sort of what we're doing to drive children and make kids accessible for schools. Sort of the work that we're doing, he knows the work that we're doing in Caledonia Park with the Santo Domingo Diamond, and expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, well, with respect to the Santo Domingo Diamond, as I had mentioned, when Willie Upshaw made that statement, I was determined and committed to, as I said, making baseball accessible to all groups, especially black kids. And so when I met Kambumbo, I asked him to help, and there was also at that time, one of my staff was Juan Sanchez, and so on. I understood he was also a major part of baseball at one point. But Kambumbo, like Luis Feliz, he was the main person, right? And there were 2 leagues, major leagues for kids here in Toronto at the time, and it was all white kids, right? And I got them to change one of the names from they were, the Redskins, because the Aboriginal community, I was working with them as well, and they were, of course, was insulted by the fact that you remember the Washington Redskins and this, and so I worked with that, and I approached them to be more open to young kids, and I have to say they relented and they did, right? And one of my staff, Michael Ellison, who played baseball, was one of the few young people at that time, he told me, and he helped open up that area as well. Right? So the bottom line is between Kabumbo, right, and some of the staff I had at the time, but mainly Kabumbo, we organized baseball and attracted a lot of different diverse kids, right? And as I say, I was very much involved with, connecting with the Blue Jays at that time as well, and the rest is more or less history, right? Where the renaming, I felt it was really important to recognize the DR after Cito had they won the World Series back to back, and so I got introduced to Cito as well. He gave me a big presentation. At the time I was managing the Caribana, which is a Caribbean festival. I was the chair. He called me and I met with him, invited me to the game, and I was presented with this shirt that said Caribana #1, and which I treasure, of course. And I spoke to him also about the fact that he agreed. And when Kamubo, as I said, he ran some baseball games among kids, and decided.
When was this? Like, what year would you say?
That was probably around 76, maybe, around there.
Do you know him from that long, eh?
Yeah.
El 26, conociendo a Cambumbo y haciendo ese trabajo para darle la oportunidad a que los niños participen en el béisbol de esos tiempos.
Sí.
Desde los tiempos que también vienen trayendo, vienen trayendo lo que es también el carnaval y todas estas cosas.
Sí, él es uno de las personas que fue fundadora de eso. So just telling him that you were helped to found Caravana and you were describing a little bit of the work that you did.
Y que vienen trabajando con toda la comunidad hispana y latinoamericana y también los caribeños. Hay que entender que la República Dominicana va en esta misma línea de lo que están la línea de la Bermuda, todo lo que es el Caribe, Curazao, etc. Que todo nos parece en el Caribe. Qué bueno conocer este gran personaje de acá, sobre todo porque ha llevado pues una vida muy activa acá en Toronto. Pareciera que no descansó nunca.
Yeah, he said he haven't had much peace. You've led a really active life, and how you tie in Latin America and the Caribbean and sort of that entire diaspora and representing Black people is an incredible amount of work.
I should mention though that Kamubo introduced me to Caledonia Park, which was the unofficial place where a lot of people from the DR, right, would go there and play baseball. And
él fue que lo trajo, dice, que fue al parque y ahí, como te digo, la fiesta, pero se juntaban la gente ahí de ese tiempo. Around what time do you think
that was around, oh my God, such a long time ago. That would probably be maybe in around the 80s, probably early 80s probably. But what happened was that when I got there to that park and I saw all the people from the DR selling food and blah, 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 it was quite an atmosphere.
Típico de los dominicanos.
¡Qué ambiente!
Vamos a comer, vamos a vender nuestra comida.
Música.
Yeah, that's right. And music.
¿Cómo te sentías con ese ambiente caribeño?
How did you feel like that moment?
Oh, it was great. In fact, the whole atmosphere was what I knew growing up in Caribbean, of course. But the city didn't always like it, and so I intervened a number of times to say, look, this is part of the culture and all of that. And then I decided to...
Let me just tell him a little bit about that. He said it sort of felt familiar, como que se sentía como que era parte de su cultura, como que estaba en Trinidad, pero que la ciudad de Toronto no estaba de acuerdo muchas veces con eso y tuvo que hablar para los dominicanos para que ellos entendieran que eso es parte de nuestra cultura, la música, la comida, la bulla.
Debemos agradecerse.
Thank you for that.
Oh my God, that is the guy.
And of course, what I did at the time, as I said, I decided, I said to the mayor that I would like to rename the park, the entire park.
Which mayor was that at the time?
Huh?
Which mayor?
That was, well, there were two. There was John Tory, and before that, I think it was, it was John.
John mostly. Él habló con John Tory, la alcaldía en ese momento, para, primero era para renombrar el parque completamente. Terminamos comprometiéndonos con el Play, que es el primero en Norteamérica.
Yeah.
Which is, of course, we're just telling him how it was a park and then
That's right.
it being good.
That's right. And there was, I did a report to City Council.
Quiero destacar algo en esta conversación, ya que tengo este señor presente acá. Este caballero que está acá y el señor Feliz, y claro que sí, los otros dominicanos fueron los que iniciaron esta gran labor para que hoy día este lugar tenga un parque. El nombre del parque es Santo Domingo.
El Play.
Sí, ahí el parque que es el Play también. Porque a veces hay muchas personas que conversan y tienen tiempo acá, o venimos como yo que no tengo tanto tiempo aquí y no sé la historia, y por eso me gustaría enfatizar un poco en la historia de cómo empezó todo esto. Y mucha gente me ha contado la historia.
Déjame explicarle un poquito. He just wants to make sure the history is correct, because like himself, he may be coming in and not knowing the details, so that's why it's so important that he wants to get some of these details, like I mentioned to you, so that he's able to share correct information.
Sure. The thing is that if you research the proposal I made to City Council, I wanted, as I said, the whole park named after Santo Domingo, and they said, well, they weren't prepared to do the whole park at that time, and I'm hoping that eventually that would happen because of so they voted unanimously to name the diamond after Santo Domingo, right? Santo Domingo Diamond.
Que si Dios quiere en un futuro sería el parque, pero ahora como tenemos el Play, y es un gran logro para Santo Domingo, pero para la República Dominicana y la comunidad canadiense aquí es algo grande.
Claro que sí. Y yo en nombre de todos los dominicanos quiero decirle a él que estamos muy contentos, tanto por tu padre y también gracias a él por esta iniciativa, por luchar tanto por nosotros, y que de verdad que aunque él realmente no haya recibido ningún premio, ninguna cosa, el premio más grande que tiene en este momento es el corazón de todos y cada uno de los dominicanos, tanto en Canadá como en nuestro país.
That big impact that you had and the arts of Dominicans here and in our country, so that they work to advance us in the community, for us to have like he says, even a small space that's made such a great impact for us and the legacy of Dominicans and the contributions, of course, that the Dominican baseball players have made to the game of baseball in Toronto.
I'm very pleased to do that, and I will continue in my own way.